All right, so here we have my father-in-law's new to him 1991 Jeep Wrangler. Me and my son Dylan are about to start fixing out a lot of problems. Go ahead and pop the hood that the previous owner did, and part of that is going to be actually the wiring for all the lights is jacked up. So we've got some parts we're going to install. You got to actually pull the rod inside. There you go. So we're going to fix a lot of that, which I'll show you real quick what I'm talking about. Right there is the shitty ass wiring job that was done previously. Oops. Which me and him are going to have to fix. As you can see, it's all kind of janky. We don't like it. We're going to make it right. At the same time, these little rock boards right here, my father-in-law and my mother-in-law need steps. We're going to actually reverse them. We're going to flip them so that you can actually use them as steps. A couple of the other things we're going to do is install some fun parts, like this new light setup right here. What it's going to do is actually allow him to actually just push the button for which lights he wants, instead of trying to figure out which all these little switches are that this previous owner put underneath the count, underneath it, sorry. Is it switch there, switch there, switch in there, two switches there, and they just don't work right. So we're gonna make this and fix it the right way, make it look nice, make it operate the way it's supposed to. And I also noticed that there's no reverse lights. So if he is out in the middle of nowhere, he needs to be able to reverse. So we're gonna figure that one out. But we'll get it all taken care of. Oh, and as you can see, my dog, stupid thing, my dog decided he wanted to jump in the Jeep. And I apologize, I just got this new gimbal, trying to learn it, and so far it's creating me a couple issues. Still learning. But here's where we are. This is what we're doing. We're gonna get started. Now this Jeep does have some good parts on it. It does have the rough country suspension, which is good. It does have a nice winch on it, which does work. Has a bunch of LEDs, bunch of upgraded LEDs. The light bar, which does light up the world, as my father-in-law says. But that's gonna start. As we get going on the progress, I will actually get some better video of the progress as we go and let you know what we find. But here's where we are right now, and we'll keep you informed. All right, little update. We've kind of planned a few things out. So right now what we've got going on is we're gonna go ahead and degrease the entire engine compartment before we start working on it. Dylan here, who just ducked out of the way, is currently spraying it down with some degreaser so we can actually start and get that done. I just kind of wanted to give a small update on what we're doing, but this is the first step of it because it's pretty filthy. Previous owner, he was honest with us. He said he never washed it because it was a mud toy. That's all he had it for. So here's where we are right now. We did plan some stuff out on the inside on where to set some stuff. We'll update that in a few minutes. Right now I'm gonna set this down, go get a tool, disconnect the battery real quick, and get ready to pressure wash. So there you go. gonna be the cleanest this motor has been in probably 20 years, and probably will be for the next 20 years. All right, go ahead and Alright, we're done with that. We're gonna let it dry for a little bit. Start on the inside. But definitely cleaner. If you don't have one of these foam cannons, they work fantastic. And they're cheap. They're cheap. You can get them off of eBay or Amazon for dirt cheap. But you're gonna have a good compressor. I think ours is dying. Alright, so while that's drying, we're going to remove the steering wheel in just a minute. We've got to change out the multi-function switch so the blinkers work. We're going to mount our new light controller. We found a place that we like it. We're gonna get it mounted there, and then we'll get that done. But right now you can see we've got quite a bit of work in here to do. The previous owner decided to put this rubber mat down to cover up all the rust. He said there was some rust, but we're finding out there's a lot more than what he was saying. Sucks, but you know, it is a Jeep. It's just a dirt toy to take out to the land and go hunting in and whatever else, so that'll be fine. So this is what we're working on next. We're gonna go ahead and just pause for a little bit. We'll come back after we get the steering wheel off and figure out. So right now, I'm trying to figure out a way to mount this bracket with this fuse box underneath here, right there. So I'm about to make a custom plate to do that. That way it's got a nice firm location to mount to, and it'll be out of the way, be under the hood, near the battery where it should be, and it'll just work right. So that's what I'm working on right now. I'll give you a picture of it, or a little small video once I'm done. I'm not good at that time-lapse stuff, so that's why I do it this way. But that's where we're at right now. A little bit of progress. We've made a bracket. Now Dylan's already painted it, and now he's about to actually screw it in and make it look all pretty. Alright Jay, just so you can see, the panel right there, yes, it's on a dash, and it does control lights. As you can see, they're not all hooked up yet, but that one turns on that one. These are dead. I've got replacements on the way. I've got 4 replacements, one for both sides. And then what I'm going to do is actually mount one here and on the other side for your reverse lights. And you'll actually have those on a switch. I'm not sure which switch yet. Again, this is just temporary, but I also have you some interior lights right there. I'm going to run all those down along the actual underside of the seats, not the seats, but around the edge of the vehicle. That way you actually have some light in here. But there's those. Hang on. Now, these lights do not work. I haven't figured out a replacement for them. With these working here, I didn't really think you needed them. So unless you want me to find those, I will. If not, I'll just leave them alone. But you'll actually have all the lights worked up. They'll all be individual switches, so you don't have to worry about it. I don't have the right pulley puller to take the steering wheel off. I'll pick that up tomorrow and get that all worked up. And it is all 100% set up to the key. So if you forget to turn something off, you don't have to worry about it. The key turns it off. All right, so here we are. Some more progress on the Jeep. I do have the new lights mounted. I have those, the 2 replaced right there. Now, one thing we did find out is the Jeep has no reverse lights due to the fact of the upgraded LEDs that the previous owner put in. So I went ahead and installed some reverse lights. Super bright. At the moment, what I'm doing at this moment is taking out the interior. These seats don't belong in this Jeep. They actually belong in a newer one. Because of that, that seat right there, the way they have it installed, is going to be extremely difficult to take out. So instead of taking it out, I'm just going to work around it. Do my best anyways. About to remove all this rubber matting. I've already pulled up some of it to see what it looks like. It's not that bad. I'm going to rhino line the interior here in just a little bit. Once that's done, I'm pretty close to being done with this thing, besides changing out a few sills and a tune-up. But here is where we are. Again, you know, it's not a lot of progress, but I've had other things to do, unfortunately. So I've been kind of doing this one as I could. My father-in-law's coming to get it next weekend, though, so I do have to get it done. So, which is why I'm going to make a mad dash to get it finished up right now, between today and tomorrow, and maybe a few days in the week, depending on how long the rhino liner takes. I don't really know. I've never actually done it, so it's going to be fun to figure out. But here's where we are. The steering wheel, blinkers, all that stuff now work. I did not do a video of that. I should have. Had to run the wire through the steering console, the steering column, apologize. And that was an ordeal all its own. Also, whoever owned this Jeep prior, I don't know if it's previous owner or the owner before that, had the steering column apart and there's a couple parts missing. So I'm having to make a few pieces to make the horn work. It does work. I just have to figure out the spring mechanism. So when you push the actual center of the steering wheel, it actually goes off and actually makes noise. I can do it manually with just grounding it out, so it does work. But that's where we're at right now. Wiring underneath the hood is still kind of a rat's nest, but I've got it all temporarily plumbed in. That way I can see what's what and where, and if it works and all that good stuff, and it does. This system that I got for it's actually fantastic. So that is where I'm at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and get back to work on it. I'm going to try a time lapse, so I'm just going to set this back here and let it record as I get in here and work, so maybe y'all can see what I'm doing. Again, I don't know, I'm new at this editing, so it's a process I'm learning. But let's get this set up somewhere. Actually, you know what? Maybe I set it back here. There we go. honestly, it doesn't look too bad. I got the front all pulled up. Got to pull this out. I missed 2 screws there. Let me get those 2 screws real quick and I'll be right back. Set that right there for a second. So in all honesty, we thought it'd be worse. It's really not that bad. I do got some scrubbing to do before I try to rhino line anything. But honestly, I'm happy with what it looks like. It's gonna look good when we rhino line it. It's gonna come out clean. There is some patchwork up here in the front floorboards, but once we clean it up and actually seam seal it real quick before we actually rhino it, you'll never notice. So now it's gonna look good. It's got all the proper drain holes. They just been covered up. Oops, sorry. So this will be okay. Wish I'd get that seat out though. If I get that seat out, it'd be better, but I can't because I'd have to remove the transmission to do it, and I don't want to do that. And that's because the transfer case sits right there over those 2 bolts, so I can't get those out, which sucks. So I'm gonna work around it, which will be fine. It's just gonna take a little work, but there we are. Let me get back to work and clean this sucker up, and we'll get it finished up, and I'll get you some more videos here in a little bit. All right, just want to give you an update, Jay. Right here, you can see the floor pans aren't that bad. There, underneath the seat, not that bad. Yeah. But right here, bad. Actually, I found out that's actually a common place for it to rust out because it builds up rust, mud and debris right here. And when it does, nobody ever cleans it. Obviously, is what he did, so he didn't clean it. I'm actually going to cut out from right here all the way over to here. Oops, sorry. I'm going to cut all this out here, cut it out here, come back, do a nice little square, and re-weld it all in. Same thing on the passenger side. But the rest of the floor is actually not that bad. So all in all, for a 30-year-old truck that has been treated as a mud truck, it's not too bad, not too shabby. But I'm gonna get it all cleaned up. Like I said, I'm gonna get that, I'm gonna make a patch right there. Once I weld it in and I actually do the rhino liner over it, you'll never notice. I am gonna leave 1, 2, 3, 4 holes that are gonna be open for drains. Needs to be one here and on that side. That way if you ever get rain in here, it actually drains out. So I'm going to put holes in here so when I'm done, you will see some areas, but it needs to be done that way. There is actually area for drainage if you actually do get water in it or if it rains or whatever. But just want to give you an update. All right, so here's an update. The hole that was there is no longer there. I do got to get some seam sealer, seal it up. Do a little bit of welding, and then figure out how I'm going to remount the seat belts, brackets, which shouldn't be a problem. There's access underneath. But it's actually done now, for the most part. Just got a few little things that wrap up. This, like I said, is a patch job that fixing the shit job that was done by the previous owner. So here you go. As soon as it's done, I'll get you some updated. And yes, I did use a street sign. You use what you have. That's part of, you know, doing this. If it was a show car, I'd cut the whole floor out and redo the floor. But this is just a patch job for a toy that's going to be in the woods. So that's what this is. Yeah, I'm going to rant a little bit. I buy and sell cars as a hobby, and that comes with repairs. But what really pisses me off is when people actually do stupid shit like this person did. I'm sitting here and working on my father-in-law's Jeep that we just bought. The guy said there was some small rust. Now granted, we looked at it, we saw some spots. Didn't seem like it was that bad. But now that I'm into it, I don't understand how people think that spray foam is a solution to fix rust holes. This dude filled the rust holes with spray foam. The whole corner is spray foam. How fucking stupid. I mean, that's just dumb. Patch it the right way. Use metal, use weld, use seam sealer, do it the right way. Doesn't take much time. I'm gonna have this done this weekend. But this is fucking stupid. Here's another quick video real quick. This is the seatbelt. This dude sold this, said it was road worthy, so that my father-in-law and my mother-in-law could actually go and have some fun in it. This is the seatbelt. I just pulled on it. Okay? This is stupid. I mean, come on. If there's a wreck, that's not holding shit. That was the other side of it. That was mounted down there. Now, granted, I already started cutting some out so I can fix this. I already did the other side. Yes, it's a street sign. It's not finished. That's a template so that I know what I need to make. Gonna do the same thing over here. Get it all welded in the right way, sealed up. It's gonna be structurally sound. But a lot of people put diamond plate on to protect it from rocks. Come to find out, the diamond plate's there because there's no metal behind it. It's just foam. This dude was a piece of shit. All right, so here is an update. As you can see, the patches are done. Don't make fun of my seam sealing job. Kind of got away from me just a little bit. But it is pretty much ready for rhino liner as soon as this all dries up. I gave it just a quick base coat just to seal it. I know the rhino liner is going to do that, but it made me feel better to do it. So here we go. Just wanted to give everybody an update. It's looking good. A lot of work, a lot more work than I was expecting. I was expecting a couple of small holes, not giant gaping orifices. But as you can see, all in there, sealed up. It is 100% solid. It is not going anywhere. Oh, there you go. Well, if you've been following along, I've had to do a lot of work to this Jeep right here for my father-in-law. I'm actually proud of what all I accomplished. It's finished now, besides a few little small things. But that's more of a, you know, where he wants a fire extinguisher replaced, does he want the center console back in, that sort of thing. So I'm actually going to wait for him before I put that stuff in, but I wanted to show everybody the accomplishment that I've done. So here's a quick video walk around real quick. Now, I'm actually proud of this. I will be honest, the horn does not work still. I am waiting on a part which I'm having shipped. It'll be here tomorrow. But there's this switch panel. That switch panel right there is this shit. It's all solid state relays. Everything's hid underneath everything's positioned where it should be. And sorry, let me get my camera to do this. But as you see, he has the bumper lights, backup lights, which would be the lights around the back for reversing. He's got the light bar, which is up top, the windshield lights, and then of course the underglow, which is actually interior lights. Jeeps, because they're, you know, typically a soft top, don't have dome lights, so all the lighting's at the ground, on the ground level. But it's real simple. Just push the buttons, everything comes on. And there you go. Because of the LEDs that this thing has, the reverse lights were non-existent, so now he has reverse lights, which you can see. He can pretty much see anything he needs to see, which is fantastic. At the same time, he's going to use this on his land, so while he's driving, if he needs to see to the left, the actual windshield lights are actually angled to those directions. As you can see over there, the other one is angled the other way. And then of course the light bar, which is on the roof. Oops, sorry. My gimbal decided to die on me, so. And then of course, you have the lights there. Now, this whole system is extremely user-friendly and easy to operate. And as you could see a second ago, it makes it really simple to turn everything on and off, which is what I've done. So you need to turn something off, you just come to the switch panel, which is right here. I turned off the interior lights. So it's all done. Let me turn the interior lights back on real quick, show you the finished product of the floors. All the metalwork is complete. Seat belts are actually secure, and they are not going anywhere on both sides. You know, I think it actually turned out really well compared to what it was to now. I'm extremely happy with the way it turned out. I just hope my father-in-law is when he comes and sees it on this weekend and picks it up. I hope he likes it. I did put the half doors on because I'd like the half doors. Oops, shit, really? Can you see over there? All right, so has everybody been following along? If you have, I appreciate it. This right here is my father-in-law's Jeep. I have finally finished it. He is coming to pick it up this weekend. Just wanted to give everybody a quick walk around of all the progress. I apologize, my gimbal's acting up. But he now has reverse lights. So when he's on his land and he's reversing anywhere, he can actually see. He has interior lights. As you can see, the interior is well lit. At the same time, he has these windshield lights that are angled off to the side, so when he is on his land, he can actually see to the left and see to the right without a spotlight. And then of course he has the light bar at the top, and of course the bumper lights on the front. Now that, along with the headlights, pretty much says he ain't gonna have any problem seeing out on his land. So there is all the lights. Now my favorite thing is actually the way this is all set up. Disregard the horn button not being on. I'm still waiting on the parts to finish the horn. They'll be here tomorrow. Once they're here, that'll be the last thing. Father-in-law needs to decide if he wants the center console that was in it back in. Because me personally, I like it without the center console, but it's his Jeep, so I'll let him make that decision. But here is actually the control panel, which I personally think is probably one of my favorite things about this Jeep now. And the reason I say that is because every light is individually operated by these buttons, so that he can actually turn off what he doesn't want and turn off the interior lights just by push of a button. I've got my light on my camera, that's why all the lights are kind of acting weird at the moment. But as you can see, it is nicely well lit. At the same time, I wanted to show you this. Remember the holes that were in the floor? They are 100% solid now. Seat belts are snug. They're not going anywhere on both sides. This is a great toy. You know, I was kind of pissed off at the guy who did the previous patchwork and this shoddy patchwork that he did. Oops. But if you look at it now, you know, it's easily, you know, a nice little custom toy. It's lifted. It's got the rough country suspension on it. It does have a cold air intake. And honestly, I actually dig it. I'm not a big Jeep guy or 4x4 guy, but I actually dig this one. It's actually really cool. Personally, I like the half doors better than the full doors. I think the looks better. Honestly, because there's no air conditioning, I don't see the need in a regular door. But that's just me. But here it is. I hope y'all like it. I hope he likes it when he comes to pick it up. Oops. And hopefully we'll see. Thank you.